Well, awesome job today, Nikolai. What's your secret?
I think it just came down to having a really good sort of atmosphere between Ed now and TJ and myself. It's first time we're sailing with Ed, obviously, so in the 3-up. So yeah, it was just good communication, and we found each other easily to work with, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Obviously, the wind was super fickle out there. How were you sort of making decisions around the track, obviously, which way to go and things like that?
I think it was sort of the first time with this fast in this light stuff, H1 and H2, so it was a different way today actually to make decisions, because we're actually sailing away and normally we have to get the elbows out in the light stuff. So yeah, it actually came a lot easier than normally. You just sail fast and then you don't have to deal with all the other boats. That seems to be the case today. Normally that's in the heavy wind we can do that, but it's good to see we're sort of starting to learn it now in the light wind.
It looks like, the second half of the season is clicking for your team, or do you just enjoy those light conditions with 3-up?
We enjoy any conditions, but yeah, we knew today was going to be, for everyone really, so we went there with the opportunistic mindset, and yeah, we did some really good things, good starts, and sailed the course nicely. Sometimes we were just not sure which good gate to choose, and we were like, okay, let's go for this one, and sometimes it was right, sometimes it was not, so it was hard to predict, but yeah, I think we did a good job as a team to stay calm and yeah, stay in the fight for tomorrow.
And moding is obviously super important. You have to kind of get the most out of the boat, 2 hulls, 1 hull.
Yeah.
How do you sort of make that decision? Is it feel? Is it data?
To be honest, it's really, for us, we think it's really about watching outside of the boat, because the gusts are so short, and it's really hard. If you just look at the numbers, you might get it wrong. So it's more about linking the pressure, and I'd say today we didn't have any foiling conditions, so in a way it was almost easier, but when you add foiling into the equation, it makes it even harder, yeah.
And what would it mean for your team to get another podium to round out the season?
Well, it would be really good, to finish the season strong and prove once again that we can fight at the top. I think for us it's all about next season now, but we're trying to maximize what we can learn here and be consistent next year.
Martini, obviously interesting race weekend for you. Obviously you've got new people on board. What's going on there?
Yeah, we got a lot of seat changes, I think, not only in our team but through all SailGP. And for us, what could have been like a lot of changes could actually potentially be, I think, is the chance for us to step up even higher as well. And we got quite a nice team together, and the only challenge we have is against time, because now it's a whole new learning curve, and we've been frying our brains in these last days to get together, a team in the communication side and maneuvers and everything we can to go racing this weekend. So it's been quite intense, but it's been quite rewarding.
Eric, it was a pretty tough day out there. Obviously you had some good moments. I guess what was the trick to doing a good job?
Well, I don't know. It's still, we're still trying to find out what's the best way to use the boards, because the judges, they came up with a rule which was supposed to to permit the use of the boards, but now it's we're using it way more. So I wait for the first pump to blow up, and yeah, I don't know. We have in the booth now the coaches sitting, and they're telling us when we can use it and when not, but still somehow we get penalties, and we have to figure out with the team tomorrow morning how what's in the end allowed and what's not.
Overall, great day. We sailed really well and caught a lot of boats today, which was nice to see. That's the goal always in this league, is to be able to catch boats around the racetrack. And yeah, other than the last race, we did it all day. And yeah, unfortunately, the last race we had 2 penalties from a new system that the umpires introduced this event with the board cycling and how many we can do. And we've been monitoring it really well all day, and we got 2 penalties, and we're not really sure why. And yeah, our data shows that we didn't overuse the boards, and for us it's really frustrating, because it turned what was a decent race, decent start into a last place. So frustrating, and we're going to go back and review to make sure. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess, at this point. But yeah, we got to go out and fight hard tomorrow.
Well, you're not the only team getting penalties, but I guess how hard is it when new rules are introduced or new equipment's introduced and you kind of have to roll straight into a race weekend?
Yeah, I mean, definitely tricky. It's been happening all season, so we're pretty used to it at this point. But yeah, and we have a really good grip on this, and we have timers going in the booth, and we're getting all the information we need, and we're still kind of baffled about why we did get those penalties. So we were all over it, really well prepared for it. We did it really well in the first 3 races, and then all of a sudden something changed. So, but yeah, we're going to brush that off, and yeah, we feel good, and we feel like we got a good handle on the starts, which is always tricky in these conditions.
Obviously, there's a big focus on the grand final this weekend, but there's still an event up for grabs. What would it mean for your team to finish in the top 3 to cap off a season?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the goal. You know, we've had some great events here in the UAE, and yeah, we feel obviously comfortable in these conditions. We've been going well all week in the practice racing, and but yeah, you know, you got to go out there and you got to perform every day, and every race is so different, and there's so many little things where you just need to be sharp and try to take advantage of them around the racetrack.
Phil, how was your first day back racing at SailGP?
Yeah, well, I guess for the first day coming back, it's a nice way to ease into it, but actually not really. It's pretty horrible out there. It's especially the starts. There's a lot of boats. You're obviously very, very close, and there's a lot of situations. So it's yeah, it was all right. We had a good day, and it was a lot of fun to be out there again.
And obviously 3 up, which means that you had quite a bit on as a driver. How much were you leaning on the other 2 on the boat to kind of help you multitask?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a disco out there. Everyone's dancing around, and it's yeah, it's difficult, but yeah, you got plenty on. But thankfully, it's quite light, so yeah, it's actually not too bad. But once you get foiling 3 up, then it's gets exciting.
The congestion around the marks was obviously pretty intense. How hard was it to sort of manoeuvre around that traffic and try get out of there the best?
We sort of had one rule: come in hot on the inside at any mark, and the problem with that is there's a lot of boats that owe you room, but they can't. So you're sort of dishing out penalties, but yeah, you still can't get in there. So yeah, it's very chaotic around those marks, and it's definitely a little topic to look into. But yeah, it was a bit of fun.
Nice.
Pumping the brakes a lot.
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah. No, it's hard. I mean, so light. I think, you know, everyone's struggling out there. The Danes managed to put it together something quite special today, which they got to kind of doff your cap to them. We felt like we ended up in a fight with penalties today. We had our bad races, and we had 2 good, 2 bad, and one of the good turned bad pretty quick with, I don't know, I have to go back and look at some of those umpire calls, but we had some dialogue with Craig at one point that I haven't quite understood yet. Yeah, difficult day. Yeah, I mean, I think the margins are so fine, and there's really not a lot between any of the boats out there. It's tiny little differences here and there.
I guess how much technique sort of comes into it? Obviously, there's 3 people on board. You've got to get the most out of the F50.
Yeah.
You know, every little kilometre counts.
It does, yeah. Every little inch, every little millimetre does matter in this stuff. And there's also this, you know, sailing's not a lucky sport, but there's a lot in a bit of a throw of the dice, how you line up with other boats, how they decide to affect you. So yeah, there's definitely an art to it, and you can do it well, but jeopardy is high, put it that way.
Yeah, felt like we got reasonably unlucky today. We thought we were doing a good job kind of getting the boat around the start line, all the mechanics, but obviously went off on our boat, the penalty against Great Britain, and then Craig decided to give us another 2, so took us right to the back in that 3rd race, and then obviously the Swiss crashing to the back of us on the last start kind of put us from what I thought was the best position we'd had all day to pretty much last again as well. So yeah, a couple of things didn't swing for us today, but I think the team did a great job just kind of carrying on, working our way forward and making the most of it.
Obviously, going 3 up, you had a little injury ahead of the weekend, but seems to not really be affecting you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes life a little bit tougher, not having to worry about one more thing, but it's just good to be out there racing, and definitely didn't change the outcome today.
And I guess, like around the track, for the athletes, so you've got to choose to go left or right at all the gates. How difficult is that decision when it's so light and fickle like that?
Well, I think probably the thing you don't see is you get committed to a decision so early, so you've really just got to kind of try and make the correct decision early, and if you get it wrong, if someone slightly gets inside you, it just makes life incredibly tough. So, I mean, that's what we're trying to do today is make good decisions. Obviously didn't get them all right, especially on the first run, going backwards a few times, but yeah, I think all in all we're riding hard for tomorrow and looking forward to getting back out there. Is
it good for you that Tom's looking after the Spanish so you can focus on your prep for the grand final?
Yeah, I'm not sure who's paid the Swiss to look after us, but that was a bit of an interesting one. But yeah, I think it's interesting all 4 of the boats that are in riding contention have been having a tough day, so it's yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun racing again tomorrow. and looking forward to giving it our all.
Yeah, it was difficult as usual when it's light windy, because we are 12 boats now, and so I mean the shadow wind and the gas are coming quite quickly, so it's not easy to handle. But I think today we were in. We just missed so much opportunity. I think the first race and the third one we were in the top three, and we just drifted out. I don't know how exactly, I have to analyze it, but yeah, it was close today. I think the starts were good enough, and second race and the last race were in the match, so yeah, a bit tough.
Yeah, it's obviously extremely stressful. We're obviously in a bit of a different race than the normal race of trying to win the event, so we're just trying to keep control of Spain. And it's very hard in those conditions. It's very hard someone just gets a gust, or the helicopters get too close, which happened a few times today, and boats just take off, and there's not much you can do about it. But we're just trying to control the situation as best we can. And for us, we're in a better position now than we were at the start of the day. No, it doesn't look like that when you're back in 10th overall, but as long as Spain's behind us, we're happy.
And obviously the starts are so difficult. Everyone was getting penalties, being on the early. How hard is it, I guess, in those conditions to control your pace and still kind of be in the mix?
Yeah, I don't know if other teams were having the same difficulties we were, but our start software kept saying we're racing, and we'd pull the trigger and go, and we got 2 OCS penalties today. So it's frustrating, but I saw a lot of people getting penalties, so maybe everyone's having similar issues.
And I guess, how do you sort of take the fight again to the Spanish tomorrow and prepare for the grand final? Is there two different things, chains of thought?
Yeah, I mean, one is keep Spain at the back of the pack, and the other one is just race as fast as you possibly can. So they're polar opposite strategies, but we're going to have to shift if we make that final. Our focus is to control Spain. And then if we make the final, we've got to forget all that. We're going to have a couple of minutes to reset, and then it's going to be, we're racing for $2 million, so winner takes all.
It was a very light and tough day. The starts get a lot of weight in these days, and we pushed for it, and that made us also make a couple of mistakes that, obviously the results doesn't show it, but we are quite happy with the attitude we went out there, and happy not with the result, but how things are going for us, and we will keep pushing tomorrow, even though things are not super hopeful for us.
And how do you reset? Obviously you've got 24 hours to basically study everything, create a new strategy, or do you already know what you're going to do tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously we're going to go through everything, and again, we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're going to maximize our chances tomorrow, which there are some still, and we'll go for it 100%.
I guess there's a bit more luck involved in light winds, and maybe you saw the top 4 teams not quite putting enough risk into it because they don't want to sort of have any accidents or anything like that or be over, and the teams who took a bit of risk were maybe having the best starts.
Around the gates there was so much congestion, especially that last turning mark as well. How hard is it when it's so light like that to kind of like get around that mark, make that decision, defend your position?
Yeah, there's lots going on, obviously very condensed racetrack, and the fleets all arriving at a similar time, so there's plenty going on, and we saw some tight mark roundings and lots of place changes in that final leg.
So much changed on that final leg, as you said. Obviously tomorrow going into 3-boat final, is it going to be a completely different game, or is it going to come down to squeezing every little point at the end?
I think it will be completely different for the grand final with 3 boats. There's obviously a lot more wind on the race course, and I think it'll be a very different game.